Yo, what's goody? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this episode. Y'all, we have a very special guest who is based out of the DMV. We got Tye Talks with Ain't That Some Shit? Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that?
Yes.
It's always some shit.
Right. Welcome, Tye. Welcome. How you doing, man?
I appreciate you. I'm good. I'm good. Got it all together. I'm here. Got my bottle of water, ready to talk, ready to, have a good time.
Yes. And you're not new to this podcast world. You got
Yeah.
the podcast Ain't That Some Shit, 18 and plus. How did that journey start for you?
I needed an outlet. Like I talk too much, and sometimes I don't want feedback. Sometimes I just want to get things off my chest, and I always said to myself, there's a couple things in life I always wanted to do. I always wanted to work at a movie theater. They never hired me. I don't know why. I always wanted braces. The doctor, no, I'm serious. I always wanted braces, and the doctor was like, "Get the hell out of here, Tom." Cool. I always wanted glasses. I fucked up my eyes on purpose to get glasses. I'm thankful for that. 'Cause- No, I'm being so serious. I just weird stuff, right? And as I got out of college, and the social networks, all that stuff started popping off. I always wanted to do a YouTube and do a podcast, so I did a YouTube for a little bit. I ended up being one of those people that cried on film. I said I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
And I finally did the podcast. Yeah, I finally did the podcast, and so I like to fulfill the things that I always say I want to do. So I did it.
Yeah, I love that. I listened to the very first episode that you put out this year. And it was just like it's not a new year, new you, it's just growth within yourself. Like you're the same person. You've had all of these aspirations already. Like you've been thinking about it. You're just growing on it. Like, and I felt that. Because I've personally, like, I've had this idea of my podcast for a while, and I set on it, like, and I didn't put just do it. I just didn't get up and just like put in the work. And
Why? Why did you sit on it? I'm
um,
wondering from you, like,
I think I just had every excuse in the book. My story didn't matter. At first, it was just like I had the logo, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I knew I wanted to do something with queer people. And then I was like, I want to do something with queer people of color specifically. And then podcast started, and I was like, okay, storytelling. Like
this is the time.
I was like, when I told my story, it was so fulfilling. Like it made me feel so good to like let that out. So I was like, I'm sure a lot of people other just like people want to tell their story too. And I didn't have that representation. So I was like, okay, it's time to really tap in and tap into my identity and fulfill that. And so that's when I was like, yeah, it's a go.
Definitely. Because you never know who you're gonna touch. And I think for me, it was, in my own little corner, in my own little world. I'm somebody amongst the people that I care about, my friends, my colleague or whatever. I know I'm somebody in those spheres, but like, what is my story gonna matter? So I understand why it kind of like prolongs you from just jumping out head first and just letting it out. And it's refresh. It's revealing. It's refreshing. It's like any episode that I put out is due to something that I've just recently seen, something I've been thinking about, something that's been on my mind, something that I've gone through, something that a close friend has told me about, and I'm trying to assist them through. So it's like once I get all those thoughts together and put it onto the pod, it's like I'm relieving myself of those thoughts and those feelings and those issues for the moment, and sometimes for good. Like there's some things that I've said on a few of my episodes that I've actually haven't even thought about since I put the pod out there. And I'm only reminded when people remind me about something I said on the pod. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm already over that.
Yeah.
Because it helps. It's cathartic. It's
Yeah.
cathartic. It really like it helps you sometimes.
Yeah, no, it really does. And like being able to, like you were saying, like you don't do that no more, like crying on the podcast, but even like talking and telling your story is vulnerable. Like it is, you're putting yourself out there. And you do get the reward for that. Like, I don't know like what your comments section are, but like regardless of like the haters or whatnot, but just like it, the pros definitely outweigh that for sure.
I agree. I call myself a baby podcast, and people tell me to stop saying that. Like, what's a baby podcast and a regular podcast? I don't like a baby podcast is, I don't have a tons of viewers and tons of, listens, but I've gotten some emails and some comments that have really continues to propel me forward, to make me want to continue going, to make me realize that you are touching, even if you just touch one person,
Hmm.
you're touching somebody. And so that's the payoff for me. So I mean, would it'd be nice to be like, oh, I want, people got viewing me thousands. It'll be lovely. But if that's supposed to happen, it's gonna come. And if not, I still do it because I love to do it.
Have you always been like in like the video production or audio production world, or like was the podcast new for you? You just learned.
So I'm heavy into music. I love music. Music's my oxygen almost. So I have an ear for things. And though the visual aspect, well, I guess it kind of coincides because I love taking pictures. I always call myself the the velvet teddy bear. I'm always saying something about me being a teddy bear. I love taking pictures. I'm cool with myself. I haven't had many people, say he ugly. I think I'm all right. So like I'm calling when you put these two together, I mean that's pretty much where the social world is existing right now. The social world is life is transforming into Instagram on a daily basis. Life is transforming into the TikTok. So it's just like it's
Hmm.
easy to merge them together and kind of put together what I like to see visually, what I like to hear auditorily, and kind of make it my own thing. Like, do I want it to be perfect? No, because I don't have perfect money. I don't have perfect money to get perfect mics and perfect lights and perfect those. So you're gonna get Tye Talks. You're gonna get raw Tye Talks. Like I'm a New Yorker. I'm gonna give it to you how I'm gonna give it to you, and you're gonna accept it or you're not gonna accept it. I'm okay with either. Uh, so I'm just having fun and I'm just enjoying myself. And whether or not I put out something visual or auditory, I still want it to be authentic to who Tye Talks is, and as it maturates and gets better and better, great. And if it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's just like starting where you're at. Like my I use my phone for like in person. Like literally my phone, two mics.
Right. Right.
It's great. Like you get it, you hear the sound, you see it, like it is you start where you
It's
are, and I think
instantaneous.
yeah, I think you make too many excuses if you don't just start. I think when it goes back to just like me, why did I wait? It's just like I've always thought of like perfection. I want it to be so perfect. I need to have everything lined up before I get started. And no, it's just what do you have? Do with what you have, and make it happen.
Bria, let me tell you something. I had a whole panic attack because my barber canceled on me. I wanted to be chopped up, like canceled on me. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I was like, I couldn't find my backdrop because this is my backdrop that I use when I was doing my used to. I didn't know where the hell the back. And I was like, you know what? Why am I bugging? When she listened to the podcast, she didn't see me.
Yeah.
She didn't. She heard what she heard what I was giving out. I mean, you see my Instagram, of course, because you're on my Instagram. But like you hear what I was giving out, the message or the thoughts or the. And do you have to be perfect to share that? No. And everybody don't wake up. I will get like it. Everybody don't wake up like me. So
Exactly.
like everybody doesn't walk around with no ring light and so if you, like you said, if you don't have those things and you missing moments because you don't have those things, then you're gonna be missing moments. And
Hmm.
nah, do your thing. Stick out your two mics and do your thing.
Yeah. I think the organic of everything that I'm doing too, I'm just like not trying to stage anything. I'm not like, I think that goes a longer way than like it's reality. Like I'm not these filters, and you look at Instagram, that's not real. Like it is real
Nah.
life, right? But I'm just like it's so much behind the scenes that you're not seeing. Like you're
So
getting
much.
a small little 30-second clip of someone's Instagram life, and that's not it's so yeah,
And then after that, 30 seconds is like cut. Real life now.
yeah, yeah. So
Exactly what happens.
it's
It's smoke and mirrors. I won't lie. There's a couple of filters that I do like because it kind of smooths some things out. I had a rough day. But like, there's people out there that put a filter on everything. Like, they don't even look like themselves anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you
Out
look
here
like? What do,
catfishing. We
is
was
that
all
your
we was all hating on the
is that
catfish
your
back in the day. Now everybody out here catfishing. Nobody
everybody's
talking
a
about it.
catfish? Like, is that your real smile? Is that your, are those your real eyebrows? Like, I don't know anymore. Like, I don't, like, what? Like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
change the hue, change the background color or something, but don't change
mm-mm.
your face. We want to know who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, this is me with, like you said, little ring light lighting right there, just hitting right there on a good.
Listen, ring light right here. That's me too.
You
I
got
put it
that.
on the warm setting. I didn't want the you know, totally with you.
Yeah. But you said you're a New Yorker. Are you born and raised in from New York?
Born and raised in New York. Now, it's funny when you say New York, everybody feels like you got to say a borough. Like, I'm born and raised right outside the city. My mama wasn't trying to live in the city. She said, no, thank you. But for my junior year, from junior high to the end of high school, I was in Brooklyn most days, most weekends. That's where my family is. Brooklyn, East New York, Shepherd's Ave, big up. My family's also Panamanian, so there's a lot of, Panamanians in East New York, Brooklyn area. So I was between Middletown, where my mom grew up, where I grew up, and Brooklyn a lot. But after high school and stuff, I stayed in Queens. I stayed all over the city, but Brooklyn's still the best borough in New York by far.
I don't know about that down there, but how was that being raised in New York? Like that lifestyle. I'm from Kansas Midwest, like I told you before. Like that's a whole different world for me. So like how was that
A
being
whole
raised?
different ballgame. Whole different ballgame. And I've never been to Kansas. I want to go everywhere. So Kansas is one of the places I want to go because I want to go to a major city and a state in all 50 states. But yeah, that's another story. But growing up in New York, like I said, it's a duality of little town, Middletown, and Brooklyn, where I was at a lot. In Middletown, New York, which is outside the city, you have more of a suburbia life. Um, New Yorkers in this city like to call it upstate, but that's not really upstate. But it's suburbia. Like, I saw cows sometimes, and I
Okay.
saw buildings. Like, people was fighting in school, but we didn't have metal detectors. They still trusted us. Like that. So I mean, we still had the yin and the yang of it all. But I always felt like I was, like they say, big fish, small fish tank. Like, I'm not to call myself a big fish, but I felt Middletown was always just too small for me. Like, there's so much more outside of these parameters of where I'm living. So when I started to go to be in Brooklyn a lot, I felt like I could breathe. Like, there was so much more going on. There was action. There might be some, crack vials in the park next door, but you gotta just walk past the crack vials. No, you gotta walk past the bums. And I ain't got no money today. I'm sorry. Like, you gotta. But it was always something to do, someplace to be. The food was better. Like, a lot of my peoples was there, and my family was there, and yeah. So I got to have a foot in both parts. So yeah.
And the culture there, like how was that just growing up in that culture of New York?
So growing up as a undisclosed queer, also a young black man, also a young Latino man, it was a lot. I was always trying to find myself. My mother's very religious, so I grew up in the church. My father tried to be religious, but the Panamanian blood kept taking over. He couldn't do it. Uh, like he gonna do it. Um, yeah, it was being, like I said, being there and being more. On one end, I was more angelic. I was more of the good kid. I'm in school. I'm getting the good grades. Da, 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 da. And on the other side, I had my sneaky side. I'm trying to run the streets. I'm curious. I want to know what this is about. What does that feel like? What does that taste like? And I found a way, thank God, to mask or to minimize both sides enough that I can pass by just being, oh, he's a sweetheart most of my life until I was able to leave and go to college and really turn into who I felt like I wanted to be. So yeah, the cultures on both sides definitely shaped who Tye Talks was going to become in the future.
So growing up in New York, you didn't get to be like your queer side, like that wasn't.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I had to go back to New York to do that during college. That's when I really, But I also feel like that was the best time to do it because I can actually really immerse myself in the gay culture. Once I came to the realization of who I really was. Because when I was younger, what was I going to do?
Mhm.
Go look at a little boy, a little at the park? Like, I mean, can't do nothing when you're young, you know. So as I was older, 18 plus, I was able to come back home when I was, you know, on breaks or summertime and like really go through metamorphosis and kind of like have some experiences and go to the gay club and go to the park and see queer artists do things and go to museums and you know when they have like queer artists and they would have like little exhibits up and do those things with friends and go you know just experience versus when I was younger.
Yeah. When you so you came out when you were in college then? So you said?
So coming out, what is coming out? What is coming out?
I think I
Because
think
I
that's
have this
like
thing. But
it comes in stages, and we can talk about your stages of it. But I think it's living your truth. Like, when did you start living your truth? I'll say that.
I like that verbiage. I like that verbiage because for me, I don't like the term coming out because I'm like my straight friends never came out. They never said, "Mom, I'm straight."
Yeah,
Like you just were who you were, and I was just always who I was. And I wasn't even a sexual person really until I was 18. I didn't really do all the things that my friends were doing. It wasn't appealing to me. So when I got to college, I went to college with one of my childhood best friends, my white boy, my cowboy. Love you to death if you're watching this, Chase. I call him Chase. Um, we went to college together, and I was really riding his coattails. I was kind of like the sidekick, and I was okay being Robin and he being Batman. I was fine with that because I was kind of like withdrawn in a sense because I was still I didn't know who and what I wanted to be, so it was cool being in the shadows. And when I got to college, you realize there's so much things being thrown at you, so many people being thrown at you, so many groups and things being thrown at you, and it was just like, oh, okay, like versus being when I was, you know, hanging out in Brooklyn, I could walk past something. I could, you know, get on a train and leave something. When you're in college, it's there with you every day. Like you're waking up to it, it's next door to you, it's in your classes, it's in the food hall, it's right there. You know, so you can't escape it. And it was almost like a mirror. It was like I was starting to see bits and pieces of myself to myself. It was almost as if when I looked in the mirror prior to getting to college, I just kind of was like, it was blurry. Like I didn't really see much. But I started to visualize more of myself when I was there, not to sound all deep and, and shit. And I met a friend. He became a friend, and um, to make a long story short, I was eating breakfast. I'm never gonna forget because we laugh about it to this day. I was eating breakfast, and I was always with my white best friend. Everybody saw me with this white boy, this black boy with this white boy. I was always with him. The people, I didn't have many friends at all because it was the beginning of school, and a lot of people didn't know. But I'm sure people were like, "Who is this thing boy? I'm walking with this cowboy every day because I, you know, whatever." So I'm eating breakfast, and the guy who is to become my friend, he walks past and he says, "What's up?" I'm like, what up? Because I have an attitude. I'm from New York. I always have attitudes. I'm just like, what up? Like, why are you talking to me? I don't know you. I'm like, what up? Whatever. I get back to my food. He comes back again. He's like, what's going on? And I'm looking at him like, yo, you see me eating breakfast? Like, what you mean what's going on? I'm trying to get to my bacon and my eggs. Like, what's up? Like, you keep talking to me. I don't know you. I'm like, I'm eating. Like, are you dumb? Like, so then he he circles back around and he's just like, I saw you around campus. I'm like, yo, at this point, I had to put the toast down. Like, so what's up? Yeah, like yeah, I'm new. I'm a freshman. I'm dead serious. I'm a freshman. He's like, yeah, me too. I was like, okay. He's like, I just wanted to say something real quick. I was like, what? He's like, who's that boy you be with? I was like, my best friend, the white boy, cowboy. He's like, yeah. I was like, my best friend. He's like, oh, he's cute. World stopped. Mind you, Briella, look at it, mind you, this boy is like 5'10", muscular, like maybe like 170. Look at him play football all through high school. And not that gay, not that gay has a type, but I just didn't get gay from him or LGBTQ RSTWXYZ. I didn't get that from him. Um, so he said that, and literally the cheese eggs fell out of my mouth. I said, said, "What did you say?" He giggled to himself. He's like, your friend is cute. I said, "You know my friend's a boy, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's cute." I was like, and then he just walked away. Just walked away. I was like, and I sat there befuddled with my eggs and my bacon and my toast, and just like, did he just did he just
What
say my
school
friend was
did you
cute?
go to?
I went to at that time I was at SUNY Marsville. Go ahead, go SUNY Marsville. It's right outside of Syracuse,
Okay.
State University of New York, and in the fields of nothing. But I found I've had the best time at SUNY Mobile. We don't call it Marsville, SUNY Mobile, and I found so much of myself at that school. But I sat there with that eggs and that bacon dripping out of my mouth, right? And I was just like, he's gay, and he don't look gay. He don't act gay, but he gotta be gay because he said my friend was a cute. And I asked him, and he's a boy, he gotta be cute. So it kind of, the rest of the day I couldn't even function because growing up, I didn't have that right in my face. You saw about it, you heard about it, it was in secret, but not right directly in my face. And I found him on campus. He was a building over from me, and I would sit outside of my dorm room, hoping to catch him come out of his dorm room. And finally, one day I called him and I woke up to him and we just started talking and we've been friends ever since then. That was 2000. That was 2000. So 22 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been friends ever since
Wow.
then. He
It's,
he opened the door. He opens to the door to my queerdom, I would say.
but you brought up a good point
Oh
of
yeah.
just like not seeing someone who identifies as queer that doesn't typically seen as queer. And my first experience of that was in Atlanta. That's when I was like, everybody gay. Everybody gay. Y'all just
Right.
hiding it. Like everybody a little bit gay. And
Everybody is a little bit gay. Okay.
yeah, but it does just open your eyes a little bit more too, of just like it's not this stereotypical person that you maybe see in the movies or on TV or whatnot, that is gay. Like
Yeah.
it's probably your neighbor.
Or the mailman, like you just said, like or anybody. It could be the teacher. It could be the train conductor. It could be anybody, and
Mm.
it's okay. And it makes me feel more comfortable as I get older. I feel less like I need to protect my queerness and stay in my safe spaces because as I get older, I'm like, almost everybody's gay. Everybody thought about it. Everybody tried it. I mean, you see these straight men out here using so much gay lingo and hoochie daddy shorts. Like, no.
Yeah.
Girls almost all of my girlfriends have tried to be with a girl at least once, and they swear they straight. I'm straight, but okay, you straight. Everybody just okay, everybody,
Yeah.
okay, everybody.
Yeah. It's just that way because that's what you've been told to be, growing up, your entire life. But how did you take that back, and mold that into yourself? Like you had that conversation with him, hunt him down at the dorm, but then what happened? You brought it back to your family. Like you just started like
You had to you have to say I hunted them down. Dang, you said I hunted them down. I probably did hunt them down. I probably did. I probably did. It's okay. It's okay. I accept it. So to be to actually utter the words I'm gay or I like men or I never said it. Like I told you before, my mother is very religious, and my father, we had a tumultuous relationship after I turned 13. Even though he was there, we didn't speak. So my mother being, oh, I mean, my mother has God's beeper number. She's pretty close to like, and to deliver that message to her would be condemning myself to hell immediately. And also, we just know me and my brothers never spoke about relationships or sex in the house. Sex was never a topic. They didn't want to know who we were dating. They didn't want to know who we were talking to. They never asked. They never cared. So we never, to this day, I think my mother has only met one relationship out of all three of her sons to this day. And we just don't do it. But when I turned 36, my mother was saying something on the phone. She was like, "Oh, when are you gonna get married, Ty? When are you gonna?" Always. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what broke inside of my head. I was just like, Mom, let's be for real. You know me. I'm 30. When's the last time you heard me talk about a girl? Like, I like men. Just Mom, you know this already. Like, I don't feel like I have to have a whole coming out story. So you know this, Mom. Like, cut it out. And that's how I said it at 36. Even though I was already living my full life before then, I was just cut it out, Mom. This is not something we gotta talk about because you already know, and we don't even talk about this stuff. So, and that's how I saw. And she was sad for a little bit, and then she had to let it be what it be because I'm a grown man. Your kids are grown men now, and you can't really change anything. You can only either support or not. And she teetered for a little while, but now she's more supportive.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's how I said it.
What'd you say?
That's how I said it. It's just like it's automatic. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when you're 36, you said you're out living on your own. I think I've said this before on here. It does make it a lot easier to be like, okay, this is who I am. Like, you're not paying my bills anymore. Um, there's only so much control that you have over me still. Like, you still want that love and support.
Exactly.
You definitely still want
Exactly.
it.
Well, but, my thing was this though. If I was 18 and I knew for sure that I was gay, I would have said it then. That's the type of child I was. That's the type of person I am. If I know for sure this is what it is, I would have said it. But I didn't know that for sure. Like a lot of my a lot of my gay friends, queer friends, whatever, I call them family, whatever. Uh, they make fun of me because they'd be like, "You're not really gay." I'm like, "Why are you not gay?" Because you've had girlfriends and you've had sex with girls. I was almost a father at one point, like, like naturally. So you're not gay. I mean, and I'm like, that isn't what is gay? The gay has so many levels. Like, what do you mean? They're like, I'm not a gold star gay. I'm like, no, I'm not a platinum gay, no. But like, do I still find females attractive to this day? Yes. Do I still um do I still fantasize about different parts of the anatomy of a female? Occasionally, yes, I do. And does that make I'm just me. I'm Tye Talks. I am I predominantly into men wholeheartedly. But if that certain type of female catches my eye, I'm down for that too. Have I had a sexual relationship with a female in a long time? No. But am I opposed to it? Also no. Those two things can still coincide.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's valid. Like, I'm like starting, if you would have asked me that, like told me that like a year ago or 2 years ago on Queen's Talk, I'd be like, not okay. Like, that's not like open minded. But now just like growing into just like learning more about different queer people and just like experiences. Like I said earlier, I just feel like growing up, you're brainwashed to believe this certain way of one
That
way
part.
of how it's supposed to be. And then you see like different people changing that narrative and you're like, wait, you can do that? Stop. Like,
What?
you can do this. Like, even like as little as like men wearing nail polish, just like just different norms that it's like it doesn't have to be this one way. Like, Tye,
It doesn't.
you can, you're like, that's why I say queer people, because it's like I feel like that's everything.
That's everybody.
Yeah.
It's so many of us. Like I totally agree with you. Not to cut you off. I don't like to say gay. I don't like to say lesbian. I don't like to say because so like I said, a lot of my people be like, well, you're not gay, you're bi. Well, bi people actively have sex with men and women. I don't active in my mind. I don't like to. Why do I have to put myself in any proverbial box? I'm queer is a much more term that I can identify with, not a much more, but queer is more of a term that I can identify with versus gay, bi, straight, whatever the case may be. I totally agree with you. Because queerness varies. There's so many levels. There's so many wavelengths. It's you know.
Yeah, and I love that. Like, and it's cool that you're like identify like with that and living with it. I feel like people don't accept themselves in that way to be like because like your friend saying like you're not this way. What why are they telling you like how you feel and you're not this person?
Thank
Because
you.
it's like this is how I identify. Like this is my truth.
Mhm.
It's my feelings, my emotions. So a lot of people take what a lot of other people say and try to fit this mold. Like for instance, me, like stud, like this masculine person all the time. Like I'm tapping into more of my femininity like lately growing up. Like it's like I don't have to be
What?
this.
Soft girl era?
Yes, like I don't have to be this like tough person all the time with like this tough personality because I'm not that person. Like
You
it's
don't.
so.
And you're human, and you're allowed to. When you cry, what Little Mo say? When I cry, you cry. We cry together. That's what she said. Like you feel you feel things. You think things. You're allotted. So why should someone give you that placard of stud, and now you got to be like all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't. Why? Like I've always been pro. Do not let people put you in a box. I've been like that since I was a kid. I never wanted to feel like I had to do something because I had to do something. Like, just don't do that. It makes me buck the system. And once I start bucking, it's not like honey bucking like Beyonce. It's bad bucking. It's ugly, but it's like it gets bad. You don't want me to buck bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't push me. And just allow people to live themselves in their totality of whoever they choose to want to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's how people should be allowed to live. And it's the most freeing. Like as I get older, I feel so much freer versus when I thought I was freer, when I was younger, when I thought I was like, oh, I know it all. Baby, no, you didn't know it all. But like I feel so much freer now, so much more in tune with myself now because I don't allow people to put those placards on me at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. I think anyone who also just like steps out and like creates like the podcast that you're creating, you put yourself out there on the internet, you definitely don't put yourself in a box because you're already going against the grain and like trying to get out of, I would say like the rat race of like people, they always think like, oh, it can't be me. I'm like, it can be me.
Yeah,
It
they
can be
can.
me.
They can. And you gotta take yourself and kind of you just gotta allow yourself to be yourself at the end of the day. That's really what it boils down to. Because that's the only way people are gonna be able to connect. People can sense people can sense fraudulency. They can be like, that doesn't sound too kosher. Versus when you're just speaking from the depths of yourself, someone's gonna hear it and feel it and instantaneously connect. Like, I understand that. Been there, done that.
Hmm. That organic. And you said you mentioned your friend saying like you're not gay. Um,
I'm a fake, I'm a
yeah,
fraud.
you're a fraud. What does your friend group look like? Is it like full of queer people of color? Like is it just queer people? What does that look like for you?
It is a myriad of personalities and queerness and straightness and allies, excuse me, and old white women and like it is a myriad of people, and I wouldn't have it any other way. My friendships, it looks like a coloring book. It looks like the song "We Are the World" came to life in real life. It looks like
I love that. I love that.
and I wouldn't have it any other way because I learned something from all of their differences, all of their ethnicities, all of their sexualities and queernesses, all of their traumas, all of their stories. I've learned and learn and continue to learn so much from all of them. I appreciate all of them, and they also. I'm never going to detract from what people have done for me. They help shape me as well. Like they're a part of all of that is a conglomeration of who makes me me. So yeah, I love them.
How did you meet your friend group?
Once you're my friend, baby. Like once I call you mine, you can't go nowhere. You locked in. Nope, you're mine, and that's it. And you don't have other friends. You don't have
Yeah,
any other friends. I'm your friend.
yeah.
I don't know. I still have a few childhood friends from elementary school. I keep them deep in my heart. I have a couple of friends from junior high. I have a couple of friends from high school. I have a bunch of friends from college. That's where I met a majority of my really, really good friends. Um, and post college is when I met a lot of my adult friends that really have helped me through a lot of times of adulting, getting my first place and buying my car without having the knowledge that because my parents didn't have the money to do those things and they got their cars from their friends and we lived in, income-based housing, So a lot of those they didn't have credit cards, they ran up their credit cards and were in financial debt all the time. So a lot of this knowledge I've learned from my adult friends.
Mhm.
And I keep all those groups together. Like, they say, how, as you get older, you start to lose friends, and it's very true you do. But I never believed in letting people go if they didn't give me a reason to let them go. So I have friends from second grade still to this day, and I have friends that I met 5 years ago that have helped me learn how to buy a car, which are the cars I have now. So 6, 7 years ago, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like it's I call them family. Like you
yes,
become
I
like
say family
yeah,
too.
you become like that
Yes,
close. And I have like a close knit group who I call that with. But it takes a while. Like I'm just not a social person, like friends with everyone type. It's just
it
like
can't be. It
it's a
can't be.
connection. I just like okay, yeah, we vibe.
It's a connection and trust. It's a
Mm,
con and the connection, vibe, trust. Those three things. Because when you first meet someone, you connect or you don't connect. I'm sorry. There's something about it that makes you feel like, oh, I can mess with that person. Oh, I could see myself talking to that person, or not.
yeah.
And then you have to catch a vibe. Like, is there something that we are both interested in that can kind of like can propel this connection further? And then it's just like, yo, now we're locked in. You're family. Like you're like this is what it is. Like I want to be able to call you about anything.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that about my friendships as well. And you said you met most of them in college. What'd you go to college for?
I got well, first I went to college because Cowboy went, remember?
Yeah.
Um, I went because I had to follow Cowboy. I needed something to do. So, Cowboy, where you going? I'm gonna go with you. Um, and when I was at SUNY Monville or SUNY Morrisville, I did liberal arts, which is what all the kids that don't know what they want to do.
Hmm.
I did liberal arts and so I could figure it out. But I always knew I wanted to be in the social field, whether it was helping troubled youth, because I felt like I was troubled mentally, even though I didn't seem like I was troubled outwardly when I was a kid. So I did liberal arts there, and then I went to Stony Plattsburgh, which is further up north in New York, which is basically on the border of New York and Canada, because we used to go to Canada and party. Ooh, Canada has some good parties and a good queer scene. Um, I went up there and I got my degree, and I got my bachelor's in social science, and I got my minor in women's studies.
Nice. That's awesome. I got my master's in social work, so I know like I did my like colloquium on juvenile youth and that system
Oh,
and how we can do like trauma
we
informed
got cousin
care.
degrees.
Yeah.
We got cousin degrees, sociology. They wanted me to do social work, but I was like, I feel like that wasn't a like place me, especially in New York. I don't know about and your part of the world. I feel like it would put me behind a desk. And I
Mm.
was like, let me stick to sociology because it's a little bit more broad. But yeah, we got cousin degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not behind the desk. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do because I don't want to be behind a desk. But I always say like the learning of what I did in social work like helps me even like this podcast. I feel like I got my bachelor's in communications. I and
Okay.
then got my master's in social work. So I feel like everything that I did like molded me into like what I'm doing even today, just like in my everyday life, um, incorporating it some way
It
or
brought you
another.
to Kueen Talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Besides everything else you have going on, you know what I mean? But this is a good part of who you are. It brought you here. So yeah, I totally understand that.
Definitely. And do you stay in New York still now? Or have you left? Or you?
No, no, no.
Uh,
I'm in the DMV. When you started off, you were totally correct. I've,
uh,
I've been in the DMV for about 10 years now, 9, 10 years.
okay.
But I'm gonna be once you're in New York, you're always in New York. Once you're
Yeah.
born and raised in New York,
Yeah.
not you moved there when you were 5. Once you're in New York, you're always in New York. Like when I start to get upset, get excited, then New York comes out of my voice.
Yeah.
I can't hide it. But yeah, I've been here for about 10 years.
So how's that life, that transition for you?
The DMV. Oh my God. Oh my God. Maybe. The DMV is special.
Mm,
And in several ways. The people here, I don't want to say it, let me rephrase. A lot of people here are very pretentious, I feel. The DMV is the area where everybody works for the government. I'm a contractor. I'm this. Everybody's somebody. And you really are. Everybody is somebody, but everybody is somebody. I'm just like, okay, you're right. I got a government clearance to do this. Okay, and that matters to me. Why? How does I just asked you if you want to catch up on your French fries? Like I just asked you if you want to go get some Chinese food, like, and not from the curry out because I don't know what a curry out. They call it curry out. What's the curry? First of all, it's carry, CARR, carry out. But yeah, it's an adjustment, I'll say. But I've enjoyed myself. I made some really good friends out here. You know, I started making a lot better money down here. Am I where I want to be financially? No, because I'm an educator, and educators are never going to be wealthy. But I do what I do because I love what I do. Um, and it's been cool.
That's awesome. Do you miss home, family?
No, no, because I go home all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, the DMV is far enough from like I'm literally if I take the train, I'm about 4 hours away. If I drive, 3.5 hours. If I drive, I'm about 5 hours away. So I go home whenever I feel like going home. They're far enough away from me and close enough to me at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's good. What do you see yourself doing, like future wise? Like, do you have any plans, goals?
Goals, what are those?
You want to stay there? You
I
want to
don't
stay in the
know.
DMV for a while? You foresee
Uh,
yourself doing that, or you
you
plan
know
on?
what's funny, Brett? You know what's funny? You know what's funny, Brett? That's the question I've been asking myself lately. Um, there is ooh, how do I say? I was about to put my business. There is a friend of mine, because you never know who's watching this. I
Yeah.
still, I don't want them to be mad. I don't want to be mad. Uh, there is a friend of mine that is very important to me. I'll say that. And if they were to say let's be Thelma and Louise but the male version and just live here, go here, go there, I probably would. I probably would. I probably would.
Okay.
But my rational thinking is no, I got a good job, I got a pension, I got a 401k. I ain't going nowhere unless it's meant to be that I go somewhere. So I really been thinking about that a lot lately. Funny that you brought that up. Yeah.
Right. Now you got that 401k and that pension. I mean,
I only got about another 28,000 more years to work, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be deposited into the
yeah.
Wells Fargo one of these days. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, and you're single then. That just said I'm single. Um
Sadly, no, I'm joking.
so we're out here mingling.
I'm a hopeful romantic, not a hopeless romantic. I'm a hopeful romantic.
Yes. How are you, like, putting yourself out there? You got your dating apps or whatnot. Shoot your shot right now. What's your pickup line, Ty?
Everybody loves a teddy bear.
Hey, hey, no. I like
Everybody,
mine's bear. Go ahead with your pickup line.
that's it. Everybody, that's it. That was the big about.
Everybody loves teddy
Everybody
bear.
wants a teddy bear.
Yeah, no,
Everybody wants a teddy bear.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
But no, I'm just out here. I'm just out here. I'm not. I can't say I'm putting myself out there, out there. I'm on the apps, but the apps suck. No one's really trying to connect and like go out and date and like they just want to hook up. Everybody's like, so you trying to come over and no, no, I don't know you like that. I don't know. I mean, we're people. We're adults. We have the itch. Everybody wants to get their itch scratched, and I do when I feel like it because I'm single and I'm grown. But like as I get like I just had a situation recently, like just recently, like maybe this week it just happened. Actually just happened like Tuesday, I'm not gonna lie. And we decided to stop talking because they said they felt like I was too serious. I didn't want to enjoy just riding the wave and letting it flow. I'm too grown to let it flow.
Mm.
Like I'm at an age where I know what I want. Do you want what I want? And if you don't, make space for that person that does. Like, I don't want to go with the flow and be 50 years old talking about we still roommates and stuff and we're still trying to figure it out and we're still no. I know what I want. I want a relationship. I want to have my love ceremony because I have a thing about gay marriage. I have a whole thing of marriage to me growing up. I'm still got being my mind being brainwashed in Christianity. When I hear marriage, I hear da 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 da. I hear bride. I see bride. I see groom. I'm not a bride, and you're not a bride either. We're both men, so I don't want to do that. I want to have a love ceremony. So like some people are just like, that's weird. You're trying to negate gay people having an actual marriage. Like it's a second, that's low tier. No, that's just my personal feeling. But I know what I want. So I come into a situation to know what I want. And on these apps, you can't be on the app talking about you want to get married tomorrow. Immediate block. Immediate block. I'm blocked all the time. Immediate block.
Immediate block. Yeah.
Immediate block. They're like, you want to get what? Married? Block. Like we didn't even like, and we were supposed to hang out, me and this person, and I said, so it's been weird. Do you not want to? I just feel pressured by you, even though you're not vocal. You haven't pressured me with your words. I feel pressured. I feel like you want a junior marriage. I feel like you're too serious and you're not as fun because you want to come over and have sex and lay up. Oh, okay, 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 okay. So that's fun. Coming over, having sex, laying up, playing house. It's fun. But actually building the house together is not fun. Gotcha.
Mm. Yeah, like you said, we're too grown for that. We're at an age
Thank you.
where we know what we want, um, and you'll find it. You'll find it. I think maybe you're
Yeah,
not looking at the
yeah.
right places though. I think the apps are. I mean, I'm
Send me to the right places. Where are
I'm
the
not
right
I'm not in
places?
the
Tell
apps no
me.
more. The right places. Um, I don't know. I was blessed where I found my partner. I actually found her in my master's program in social
I'm
work.
jealous.
Yeah, so
I'm jealous.
I did not.
I'm jealous. And kudos and congrats to you finding love because it's hard out here. These streets are dry and they had not been repaved in years. In years. This is bumpy potholes. It's bad. Out here, it's bad.
Do you think that when you find love, you'll be? I know you said your family doesn't really meet partners, but do you think you'll be comfortable enough to bring your partner to your family when that day comes?
At this big back age, yes, you're coming home.
Yeah.
In the first 3 months, I'm bringing you home. Your mom, this is it. Like, I don't have no time.
Yeah.
There's no time.
Yeah.
There's no time, Brie. Like, this is it. I know. You feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it? I feel it. You feel it too? Okay, we're getting married in a few months.
Yeah.
Let me bring you home. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
That
that's
is it.
that's good. That's good then. What would you like to say to your younger self?
My younger little Ty. Um, do it now. Try harder. Enjoy more. And this is going to sound cliche, but smell the roses. Those are the four things that come to mind that I would say to my younger self because I didn't do any of those things then. And I'm just now doing it now. And I wish I would have done. I wonder who I would be now had I done all of those things then.
Yeah, I love that. I think we don't just like live in the moment and just you say smell the roses, which makes me think of just like patting yourself on the back. And even with this like Queen Talk, I gotta learn to do that as an adult a little bit more. Just like the small
Yes.
wins. Just like in my
A small
career.
one is still a win.
Yes. Yes.
That's still a win.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm doing better with that. And I'm just like really hard on myself, but I'm learning to smell the roses. Like it's all
I
good.
think all of us queer kids are hard on ourselves. So, girl, do your thing. Do your thing, man. You found love. You got the show going on. You got your masters. I only got my bachelor's, so I'm already feeling some type of way about you. Like, like,
No,
do
even that, like,
do your
yeah, yeah.
no, even that. Go ahead, finish what you're gonna say.
Even that, like, I didn't go get my license. Like, I didn't take the test afterwards. So I don't even really tell people that I got my master's because I feel like it wasn't it's not complete. So I don't even usually tell people that.
So what?
Yeah, I know.
So
I
what?
know. I
So
know.
what? You got your master's.
Yeah, yes, I do have my
Unless
message.
unless somebody take that away from you.
Yeah,
You all that studying and all that, all you then let can't nobody take that away from you.
you're definitely right.
Nobody.
You're definitely right.
You
There's,
gotta speak those things, and sometimes you gotta have that vibrato because why? Because who else is gonna do it besides you?
mhm. Yeah, you are your biggest
Oh,
hype
besides
person.
maybe your partner, they're gonna hype you up. But
Yeah,
like if you're besides you gotta hype your stuff up sometimes.
yeah. Even if you have a partner, you do have to be your biggest hype man. Um,
You have to.
mhm. Is there anything, Ty, like a part of your story that you're like, man, I really want people to know this?
I really want people. What do I really want people to know about Ty? I really want people to know that good people exist. I am intentional. I'm a New Yorker, so don't get it twisted. Like I said before, I will cuss you out. I will cuss you out. But then I'll be like, my bad. I mean, I'm gonna apologize afterwards. They'll be like, good people still exist, and I feel like it's funny because make this short. I've been having instances. I used to hear all the time, like my grandmother, I call my nanny. She sometimes she would say this random colloquialisms. I feel like a little old African proverbs from when I got off the slave ship. Uh, but it was always in essence like you catch more bees with honey. And there's been instances in my life lately where I realized being just the good person, being having a good spirit, having a good aura, and let that emanate from you is the reasons why that door opened and that door opened and that door opened and that good thing happened, and you were blessed for that not to happen because you were good. You were trying to be good, not to yourself, but good to people and around you, just to be a good person. And that's what I want people to be. I want people to remember Talkz Talks and get from me that I talked my shit, I laughed, we had a kiki, we had a good time, but yo, he's a good person, he's a good dude, he's a vibe. Like I feel good when I'm around him. You know what I mean? I want that from people. I want people to remember that from me rather.
Yeah, that's a great quality to have. It's just because there's not a lot of good, genuine people in the world, and I'm
Man,
like genuine, like just wants the best out of you, like the best for you. It's good that you're that way, and it's a good mindset to live by for sure. Especially
I
just
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
being a queer person. I think even just like within the queer community, like sometimes we're just like not even nice to each other within the community, and
So not nice to each other.
yeah, and so I feel like if we it would go a long way if that would change. It would go a long way.
I agree with you.
So I thank you so
I
much for
agree
being
with
a
you.
part of Kueen Talk. Um, you guys can check out Tye's podcast, Tye Talks with Ain't That Some Shit, bi-weekly. Check it out.
Yes.
Anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can listen to it.
Anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah, and what day does it come on again? Or,
Comes out every bi-weekly on Wednesdays. Any and all streaming platforms. TYETALKZ. Talk Talk. Wait, ain't that some shit? And I'm always talking some shit. And that's how we found each other right here. I'm always talking some shit.
mm-hmm.
And come talk some shit with me. Come listen to my crazy antics. And I hope you enjoy if you do decide to come by.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk, you guys. Make sure you guys let us know in the comments what you think of this episode. Check out Ty's podcast. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. Tye, you're a funny guy. You are funny. And
I
you have
appreciate
me
it. I
cracking
really
up
appreciate it.
today. My cheeks are gonna hurt after this. I've just been cheesing this whole time. Um,
I love that for us.
yes. And all right. Yeah. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this episode. It's been a great one. As always, family, friends, strangers, love, and be nice. Be nice.